So remember, when I ask you to solve a right triangle, I'm going to give you two parts, right? One part's free, the 90-degree angle, and I got to give you either an angle and a side or two sides, and you should be able to fill in all the blanks. So remember, kind of the standard labeling goes like this. A is across from A, B is across from B. Well, big B is the angle, little b is the side. So what's the easy thing to do first? This is 46 degrees. The other angle is complementary, right? So that has to be 44 degrees. All right. By the way, what do we need to find if I tell you A, and I ask you to solve the triangle? You have to tell me big B, little b, and little c, right? There are 6 things I'm interested in, 3 angles and 3 sides. So 2 angles were given, 1 angle was really easy to find. Now all we need to do is find the other 2 sides. And I got to use right triangle trig to do that. I can't use Pythagorean theorem, at least not yet, because I got to find at least one other side. That's right. So the choices are yours. I would say, I know that A is 13.5. So I would set up an equation that involves A and involves angle A maybe, right? Because angle A was given. So you could do the following. All of these will work. The tangent of 46 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse. That has one variable in it, so I can solve for B. I could also do, oh, thank you. Hypotenuse is C. Oh, wait. Now, tangent, opposite over adjacent, I should have said. Yeah, opposite over adjacent. So it's B. Adjacent side is B. What else can you do? You can start with 44, and you could do the tangent of 44 is B over 13.5, right? That's also a method to solve. Tangent of 44 degrees, so that's 44 is opposite over adjacent, so that would just be B over 13.5. And that'll give me the same solution. Okay, so there's always options here, there's always choices. If I do this second formula, I've multiplied both sides by 13.5 to solve for B. So I'd have to multiply this side by 13.5. So does anyone have the tangent of 44 degrees times 13.5? It should be pretty close to 13.5 since this is pretty close to a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. 13.0. 13.0 sounds good. Okay, so that is pretty close, right? It's pretty close, and it should be pretty close because A is 13.5, and the angle opposite's a little bit bigger than 44. So since 44 is a little smaller, then the side opposite should also be a little smaller. So it sounds about right. And now you have choices for the other part, right? So we found this to be 13.0. So I have choices to find C. I could do Pythagorean theorem, or I could do another trig function. For example, I could say the sine, now that I know, well, even if I didn't know that, I could say the sine of 46 degrees equals opposite, 13.5, over hypotenuse, right? That'll allow me to, I can solve that one for C, right? By the way, if you do this, there's a little more work if your unknown side is in your denominator. Multiply both sides by C. Multiply this side by C, and then what? I have an extra step to do. The sine of 46 degrees equals 13.5. I'd have to divide by the sine of 46 degrees. So my answer then for C should be 13.5 divided by the sine of 46 degrees. Or I could have done it by the Pythagorean theorem. Either way, I should get a value that is about, since I know this is close to 45, 45, 90, then the side should be about root 2 times 13, right? About root 2 times 13. Anyone have a solution for C? 18.8. Sounds about right. So there's my answer. When I ask you to solve a right triangle, give me everything I didn't give you. You don't have to tell me that this angle C is a right angle. Right? You don't have to tell me that part. Just tell me the what I didn't give you. So for number 2, I just want to set this one up. So same picture, more or less. This is not drawn to scale. That side should be a lot bigger than the other side, but that's okay. I think this one's different. Notice what you're given. You're not given an angle, right? I could right away find side C. Did anybody do that by Pythagorean theorem?
45.2.
45.2 sounds about right.
20.
25.2 sounds even better. 25.2 you should get by doing C should be equal to the square root of 21.3 squared plus 13.5 squared. And that's 25.2. Okay, now I got to find angle A. So if this is 13.5, that's angle A, and that's angle B. Which trig function can I use to set up an equation that allows me to solve for, I don't know, either one of those guys? What do you think? Doesn't matter. You got all three sides. You can use sine, cosine, or tangent. I'm going to use the tangent function and just use the sides that were given. Right? So the tangent of A should be the tangent of this angle A should be opposite over adjacent. Right? So that means the tangent of A is 13.5 divided by 21.3. So notice this is a lot different. I got to use my inverse tangent function on my calculator. That's the only way to do this. Right? I know what the tangent is, so I have to find the angle. So I get that by saying A is equal to the arc tangent. Now be careful, we're going back and forth between radians and degrees. I got to make sure I'm in degrees because our triangle is measured in degrees. Anybody get that? 32.4. We agree with that? Everybody else get that? 32.4. Sound right? It should be, A should be my smaller angle, right? If I look at my picture, it at least checks out for that part. Because remember, the side opposite the smallest side has to be your smallest angle. Okay? So that gets me to the very last thing I'm asked to do, which is angle B. And angle B I can get, because I know there's 90 degrees left in a right triangle after the right angle, by subtracting 32.4 from 90 degrees, which should be 57.6. Is that right? 57.6 degrees.